Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Realnesss with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika. How's it going today, Tamika? Happy Monday.
Yes, happy Monday. It's not a bad Monday, actually. Thank God. So
I wish it was more sunny out, but I agree. It's not a bad Monday. It doesn't feel like a Monday, but I don't even know what day it feels like. It's just like another day.
Yeah.
Another day. Well, if it's your first time here on Realness, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe. It helps the channel. And join us in the chat where we talk about today Love Island US Season 7, Episode 14?
I think so. 14.
I think it's episode 14. So Tamika sent me something that I'm going to share with you guys that is, I'm happy that it's happening, that people are having support, that people are standing up for other people. But I think from what Tamika's explained to me about the people that might have been providing this petition, this is what we're going to be talking about, I don't know if it's actually completely valid. So we have a petition on change.org, Stop the Targeted Online Harassment of Trina. I'm not sure how to say her last name, Najaraji, I'm not sure, and her family. So this is what the petition says. Love Island has a long-standing toxic history of casting Black women without casting an adequate number of men who are generally attracted to them. This common storyline is used for ratings, and we have ultimately seen that play out this season in a disgusting way. Trina, one of the Black women on the show, has been subjected to strategic editing and betrayal that has led her to online hate and bullying being hurled towards her and her family. CBS and Love Island USA producers are 100% responsible for this, especially since they themselves have encouraged some of the online vitriol with their social media posts. As fans, we are concerned that their actions are at the expense of the well-being and mental health of Trina and her loved ones. We demand accountability and a change because we no longer stand for the sacrifice of Black women for entertainment and ratings. There have already been a number of suicides in the Love Island franchise, and we worry that the actions of the studios are turning their backs on all the communities that they have made to reform the online environment of the show that has had a huge contributor to it. So what do you think about the statement and this particular change.org?
I think that Trina is not the only person who's gotten online hate. If you see in a lot of the groups and on Twitter, a lot of people, if not more, are hating on Cash more than anybody. I personally have not seen any harassment or any, I would say, death threats on Twitter or Facebook or like the IG page. But I'm not following Trina, so I don't know what's gone on in her personal IG page. And I know that similar things happen in the UK. I know there was some death threats to Chloe, right, the other day, but then there was some racist, disgusting stuff sent to Aaron's IG page, and in one situation, IGTV said something, and in another situation, they didn't. Let's guess which one that is. At the end of the day, if you go on a reality show, there is going to be, you're not always going to be popular. Even Justine last year had a lot of people that she was getting hate from. And there was one point, I think around the time with Rachel and her going after Caleb at the same time, she was getting a lot of hate because remember, I think we're getting a little more background information of what people are doing, what people are thinking. In last season, I don't think we got that. People just thought that, Justine just suddenly went after Caleb out of nowhere, right?
True.
So I think it's going to be something that comes is, I think things like death threats and harassment should be taken on a case-by-case basis. I get harassment just for making comments on Twitter. Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think this is being blown a little bit out of proportion, especially by people who contribute, in my opinion, to things happening on the other
cash.
side, to cash. Exactly. So
Absolutely.
that's my point.
We got some friends joining us. Hi, Underground. Hello. Rowan, thanks for popping over here too. Who the heck is harassing Trina's family? It's not that serious. It isn't that serious. Like, obviously, we're talking about it on the show. We have our opinions on how Trina has been moving. We don't want her to be hurt. We don't want her to be harassed, but we just don't particularly like how she went about going to get Cinco. Now that's over, and I don't really care about the storyline that much. I don't want Cash to be interested in him anymore. I'm pretty much over it. Go be with him, Trina. When nobody cares. I think what is bothering the people that created this petition, that her fans or friends or family, whomever, is that they think that Trina should be as popular and as revered as Cash is, and she's not more.
If not
or more, because I think they think that Trina is prettier than Cash. I think that that's what they feel, and they don't see that Cash is actually really fun and bubbly and gorgeous on top of it, right?
Yes.
And so I think that they just think that, oh, well, they're showing Cash more, so that is why Cash is more popular. So they need to show Trina more. The case. I think they're showing Cash more because she's more interesting and entertaining and fun and the life of the party. And they're not showing Trina more because all she and Cinco do is to sit beside each other and kiss. So
they're not even having conversations that like Cinco has admitted it. Other people have said it. They're not even having conversations that we could be pulling from to listen in on, to say, oh, how's their relationship going? And so at the end of the day, people want to blame Cash because they're like, oh, this is Cash's fault. But I'm like, at this point, this is Cash's story, because we want her to find love. Some people really want her to be with Cinco because they don't believe that these men really want her. And even on Twitter today, I saw, so it was kind of like all these people like, ew, keep these men away from Trina. And now, remember, they all came into the villa asking about Cash. Now it's, oh, they're all playing a game because they are not looking at Trina. So I think that people are being really short-sighted, and not just Trina fans. Cash fans are being short-sighted too, because again, they're hung up on the things that have happened to Amber, that's happened to Justine, that has happened to Black women time and time again, that these men are going to come in, use them, get their half of the 100K and move on. And at this point, we have to be okay with that if we want Cash to win. So like, it's a game show, a reality game show revolving around love.
Hi, Brandy. Yes, some of these kids just love to troll, and it's just kind of annoying. This, like, somebody mentioned keyboard warriors. Like, it's just they're just really irritating. Hi, Tiffany. Yeah. Thanks for joining. I'm on Twitter all the time and don't see much about Trina at all because she's she's inconsequential. Like, she had her drama with the trio and like how she was moving. Now she's faded to the background because she's boring. It's just a fact. She's boring.
I know. They don't believe it. They're insisting that she's more interesting.
Pretty doesn't equal interesting.
I don't. And she's gorgeous. Like, don't get me wrong. Trina's beautiful, but I've not seen one part of her that has a personality.
Give me a joke, one joke, like something. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen her make anybody smile or laugh. Really, I can't think of it off the top of my head. And I was just like, give me something, girl. But like, you see Cash, even when they go over to the Casa Amor, like, she's like, all right, everybody, like, champagne shores, or no, Casa Amor on 3 or whatever. She like even gets people to do group cheerses. Like, she gets the vibe going.
Even her conversation with Andrew, which I thought I could tell what she was thinking in her head, but it was, you know, it was still a vibe, but it wasn't what he thought he was going there to try to do. But it was still an interesting conversation. It wasn't like you could tell she was not interested in Andrew.
Yeah, but it was like still interesting to watch, and
Yeah.
she's still very engaging. And like I was
Right.
like, I want to see how she's gonna deal with this guy that like there's no vibe with.
She's like, "Oh, you're such
Ken
a
doll.
Ken doll," and it was kind of like you could think it. You could see in her head. She's like, "Yeah, so go find your Barbie because I'm not it."
Basically. Hey, Earth Angel, thanks for joining us. We're kind of discussing right now, there is a change.org because Trina and her family apparently have been getting some hate, and they think that it's at the fault of CBS for not showing Trina enough. Okay, there's definitely a problem with not casting enough men that like Black women, but that's not a Trina issue. 100%, girl.
At all.
100%. Probably 14-year-old keyboard warriors. They're so annoying, though. There's been suicide. Hi, Virgo Love. I'm in the UK, not as far as I know with anybody from the US ACAST. So basically in the UK, it's so much more huge of a show. The people that have success from it have millions and millions of followers. So for instance, I was just looking right now, Molly May, who was on season 5, she did not win the show.
Right.
And she has 5.6 million followers on Instagram.
And the only reason she didn't win the show was because they thought she was a game player and that she was faking her relationship with Tommy. And they're like literally one of the only couples who are still together from the UK series.
And so her and Tommy, as Tamika said, are still together. And they are being this like power couple, like influencer brand deals together separately. He's still boxing, but it's just the fact that they get so famous over there, but then they get a lot of hate as well. So the people that have committed suicide, one was Mike, who he was being called Muggy Mike. People were not really like, he had a lot of haters, just the way that when he came into the villa, he was shaking things up and not being real with some of the fan favorites. And so people just didn't like him, but it wasn't that bad. Like he was still getting a lot of celebrity and fame out of it, but I think they just must have gotten to him and he ended up committing suicide. Sophie, I'm not sure what happened with her. It just might be like being super famous when you get out of the villa and then maybe it all falling away and not being relevant anymore. I'm not sure why Sophie, because she was a little bit older than most of them. I think she was 30 when she was on the show, and she seemed to have a very good head on her shoulders. So I was just surprised that she had, was so depressed that she was kind of urged, like pushed into taking her own life. So it was very sad. And then the original host of Love Island, Caroline Flack, who I'm like, oh my God, I love Caroline. She was such a great host. Like she was one of the reasons why
more vibrant than the current host, in my opinion.
Absolutely. She's just great. She's so good. Ariel is starting to compare to her now, but not her first and second season. This season, she's doing a bit better, I'd say. Yeah. But Caroline was just like, she was just in with them, and she's was in the celebrity world. She dated Harry Styles at one point, who was like 10 years younger than her, and she was like really great. She got into some sort of altercation with her boyfriend where he pressed charges, I believe, assault charges, and so before she was going to be going to court to defend this, I think the media really had teared her apart. And then she took her life before she went to court for that hearing. So those are the 3 that I know of. And I'm sure everybody's gotten a lot of hate and maybe having to deal with a lot of counseling for, what happens after. And I believe it was stated, I don't know if it was on US or UK, but one of the shows said at the first episode that the contestants are now 100% having a lot of counseling after the show. So it was probably the UK. Probably. Yeah.
I think too, if to compare compare both of them, the UK, they get a lot more notoriety over there, less money at the end. So I think sometimes they do play up their relationships. They might stay in their relationships a little longer to get their brand deals and all that stuff. Whereas here, if you win, you take your 100K, you either split it or you don't, and you go about your business, because you're not going to get millions and millions of followers. Like right now, I think the most is like and Sally and Johnny, I believe, came in with a fairly good amount of.
Johnny did. Sally was at like 50,000.
Okay, so Johnny's at like 400 and something K. Same with Sally. Same with Justine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't, gone into the millions. Like, and I think it's the same thing. Yeah, I think it's the same thing with Big Brother. Even none of them have gone into like the millions or whatever. So that's the difference. It's like the notoriety over there is just so much, because you're in the tabloids, you're in the papers, you're like, your life is a revolving gossip mill over there. Here, not so much.
100%. It's definitely not the same over here with like the success that you get after and the fame and the type of fame as well.
Yeah.
That's so true. They're all looking for blondes. Usually, they usually are, which is very annoying. Is one thing not liking a person's character on a show. Is another thing sending threats and harassing them and their families on social media. People should not be so invested. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Just like relax. Trina is gorgeous, but she's kind of boring. Yes, Rowan. We see it, but her friends or her supporters, her tribe. What's they called? Trina stands. Trina.
Oh, I don't. Trina Hive.
Hive.
Yeah.
Hi, Nicole. So also different platforms, different opinions. Reddit seems to hate Cash and call her a mean girl. I don't see Cash as a mean girl at all, which is so Reddit. Come on now.
Yeah, Reddit. I will tell you the truth. The last year I read Reddit a lot. Between Love Island and The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And just in the last month, with stuff that was happening, like from The Bachelorette, and even before stuff jumped off with this season of Love Island, I stopped reading Reddit. The people there are really like not cool. Like, and I think it's because there's a lot of anonymity behind Reddit. Like, you could just come on there and they just say the nastiest things about anybody. They deep dive into your life and come up with all sorts of scenarios of what is actually there. And I was like, I don't need this much negativity. Like, I don't need this much negativity based on the show. So like the current lead of The Bachelorette, she can do no wrong with most of Reddit. And to me, like right now, she's on my crap list with some stuff that she did last week. So
done.
Yeah.
In my books, my mom's like, she's the basic of basic of basic. Like she's like, she's over her. I told you before, but like she's just gonna see Justin's family. She just wants to see where he grew up and his story. He's probably kicked out next anyways, and then she's shutting off. Except she's gonna watch my recaps. Obviously.
But it's the same thing with Facebook. Facebook, there's a lot of people who think that Cash is a mean girl and that
what has she done that's mean?
She's targeted Trina and turned everybody against Trina. And that she's a game player because she went after Isaiah. And I'm like, yeah, nobody remembers the part where she and Isaiah were going on good and somebody called Amy came and interrupted the relationship and made it seem like it wasn't fair that Cash got Isaiah. And then the next time she went and coupled up with the other guy that liked Cash. So Cash had nobody. So she coupled up with Corey, or just, I imagined that. Like, that didn't really happen. I don't know.
People are messed up. Yes, exactly, Netha. They show Cash more because Trina is boring and Cash is not. Correct. Correct. Like, Trina's gorgeous. Not going to take that away from her. Like, she's definitely gorgeous. Getting hateful comments is nothing new for celebrities. Where was this same protesting energy when for Justine when she was getting hateful comments everywhere?
The same people who are against that I found, because a lot of them I noticed that I have already blocked on my thing. So their comments come from it says, this person has been blocked by you, and I read their comment and it's against Cash. They the same people that were hating on Justine last season are the same people who do not like Cash.
So
But
it
like
just
Trina,
seems with their only who they think is pretty are only the people that they seem to go for. If they
correct.
think that you're pretty, they will support you as a Black person. Is what it is a trend that I'm seeing. If they don't find you beautiful, they're not going to support you. That's so gross.
That's what it feels
Oh,
like.
hi, Big Greg. Keep that dude Raul away from Cash, though. He straight lied about being a dancer. That looked like the first time I heard dancing.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, where was the bachata in that? And I was like,
Bachata's not even hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a Cash Raul person. I'm not feeling it yet. But there's some people who are like, listen. There's some people who really want her with Raul. So there's some people who really want her back with Cinco, and there's some people who really want her with Charlie. I'm not a really want her with anybody. I actually liked the vibe her and Charlie got going on, and so I'm probably gonna lean towards him. But
my friend Dominique, she actually did episode 2 of this show, recapping with me. She said that she's been thirsting over Charlie for a long time. She's like, oh my god, he's so hot. I need to catch up on the seasons because he's so hot. I don't know if I'm just don't see it, but like I don't find him attractive. Like obviously he's good looking. Like I know like but when I look at him, I'm like, that's out of the 3 people of color that came in for Casa Amor, I like Cam the best. I think he's the cutest. That's my pick.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah. No. So Cam is dead to me. I said if Cam is a model, he's 26 years old and he lives in New York. Why is he not going for cachet? Why is he going for Kira and Shannon and Olivia? Why is he not going for Cachet, who lives in New York?
Maybe the producers are like, okay, well, no, everybody else is already going for cash. So how about you go to break up one of these other couples?
Not what I saw on Twitter. What I saw on Twitter is that he prefers white women. So, which is ringing true. So,
but it also could be one of those things where he's grown up when only being the only Black guy, and he's only had the opportunity to date women or white women, or not having a lot of women in color in his life, and so maybe he has to get to know Cash a little bit to realize, like, oh my god, you are a vibe, you know. So let's just maybe hold off.
I mean, it was still the first night. I'm still, but right now Cam is not a vibe for me. No,
aesthetically, he's the cutest. I think.
To me, he's okay. I tend to.
Who's the cutest out of the 3? Three POCs
that came in? Definitely for me would be Charlie.
Really, Charlie, he just looks. Yeah. I guess I never really liked super strong beard lines.
Yeah,
and,
I hate beard.
Super cut, I
hate beard.
Too much.
I hate beards, and I hate super muscular men. But he has the right amount of muscles. But I just think he doesn't look too pretty. He doesn't look too young.
He looks too pretty for me, though. That's why. That's my problem.
To me,
too pretty, too straight. Yeah. His hair's too fixed. It's too much. It's too neat. Too pretty. Hi, Dino. So it's funny. A week ago, I was on a fan of Trina, how Trina was moving, but right now I'm rooting for her. It's a TV show. Why people hating so much? I mean, I'm not going to take any time to go and get on Reddit to go support or not support anybody. I might read it, but I'm not going to be like necessarily sending hate. Anyways, I might be like, hey, can you chill out? Like, she's a human being, but we're just sending hate. Hi, Latoya. Okay, Dakota says, I know one of the more recent episodes, she was literally crying by herself. Either she has burned bridges with the Islanders on the way she has been acting, or she has excluded herself. I think both.
I think both. I think the guys, even from some of the lives that Giovanni has done, I think the guys feel like she ruined Cinco. in that he's not himself. And I mean, we've said it a few times on this show that we feel like Cinco's not himself. But I really feel like, I mean, you even saw it last night. Jeremy and Josh were both saying he should go back to Cash. And Giovanni, even he did a live in the middle of the night last night, and he was like, yeah, I think Cinco should go back to Cash. He's like, I didn't watch last night's show, but he's like, he should go back to Cash, because Cash brings out the true person of who Cinco is. So I think so for the guys, I think that's the case. For the women, I think what it is like, you took the man and then you still have found a way to turn it around that it's somehow Cash's fault that you're going through this. But you put yourself in the middle of whatever was going on with them, and then made it so that Cash is kind of like trying to figure out, well, what should she do? And at the end of the day, that was all that wasn't all Trina. That was Trina, and that was also Cinco.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I guess a big comment here. Jeremy has even more personality than Trina. Like, it's getting bad for her. She can't survive without a triangle storyline.
I agree with the end part. I don't know about the Jeremy. Listen,
you know what? You know what? I have to say, there's twice now though that Jeremy has made me laugh. Okay. I can't remember what happened. I can't remember right now, but I know that I was like, oh, he made me laugh there. And I think he also made me laugh in this episode. So
somebody must have spoke to him like, dude, if you want to stay on the show, you better start showing a personality, but I wouldn't know, because I've kind of just tuned him out. I don't care about his love story. like Justice for Giovanni. I really am not a fan of his. So I think whenever he talks, I couldn't even tell you. I'm like, he'll go for whichever girl is left over at this point in Casa Amor. Like he said, I don't care. I really don't.
Me neither. But like, I was surprised though that she made me laugh a couple times. Okay, so Sam likes Raul for Cash better. Charlie only mentioned her personality and laughed my ass off. Next,
so Raul was like, "Oh, you're gorgeous," but I didn't believe him. Is that weird? Like, I didn't like that conversation. Like, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, that was such a great conversation," and for me, I thought it wasn't. Like, I thought
that they got along really well, like with him being like, him being like, oh, that was a bad hug, and he's like, that wasn't a good hug, like that's really smooth. Like they did have a little bit of banter, so I liked that
part. I liked, but I thought that was more of a Cash thing, because I was like, always know that Cash is gonna tell you what you did wrong in your relationship with her. But that was Cash being upfront. Even with the dance, like, my whole thing is like, I thought he was like playing a role. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think I need to see a little more of him.
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't like, oh my God, he was awesome with her, like some people.
Yeah, I want to see how they will progress. I want to see maybe if Cam decides that, like, oh my God, like I didn't really think of her that way first off the bat, but she's great. I want to see the progression of all of these things, and I want to see if Trina decides to insert herself into one of these relationships that are forming with Cash. Oh man, that's pretty sad. Yes, it is. If we're talking about her crying.
Yeah, I actually can see Trina maybe pulling Gabe. What's your thought on that?
Say that again? Gabe. Who's after Shannon? I don't think that she's gonna get into a threesome with Shannon. That's like, she's ballsy if she does that.
Yeah.
Charlie kissed our girl Cash. Crazy. Really? Is this in the first look?
Wait, what?
Is it? How do we know that they kissed? I haven't seen that.
Well, I mean, that kiss was they did kiss on the show, but that was
the Superman kiss. Sorry,
yeah. But that was Cash kissing him, not him kissing Cash.
I don't see why anyone would extend hate towards Trina and her family. Yes, the way she went about getting Cinco was foul, but the situation doesn't deserve that type of hate. I know, who cares? Not that serious.
Not that true.
In the UK, 2 contestants committed suicide. Oh, it's the host. Yeah. Yes, sorry. Corey in his bag this week, honey. What do you mean? What happened?
He was like, God sent me a birthday present.
Oh, yes. Okay, so speaking of which, though, when everyone was getting up, I thought it was Kira's birthday, who's also a Leo. Is it both of their birthdays? Because I thought that Will was saying Feliz Cumpleaños. I thought he was saying it to Kira, but was he saying it to
they were
Corey?
saying it to Corey. So Corey's mother in that Facebook group had posted that it was her son's birthday.
Is mom white or black? Sorry.
I don't know. I didn't look at it. I didn't look at the
because I told you my friend's theory that Corey's mom must be white.
Yeah, I didn't look at it, but she's like, "Oh, guys, today's my baby boy's birthday. Let's say happy birthday." And so everybody was saying happy birthday to Corey. So that means that must have happened like when they were going to bed, probably like 12 a.m. or whatever. After that, whenever they finished filming, they sang happy birthday to Corey, or they got up and sang happy birthday to Corey. But it must have been Friday.
So I guess I thought it was, though, because Will, when he was getting out of bed, it looked like he was saying it to Kira. But I guess it was to Corey, or they both have the same birthday because they're both
right.
Yeah, that's the only.
Not sure. She didn't say anything. I mean, if it is her birthday, maybe that's why she's so weepy, because like the girl kept crying. Like imagine you thinking you're going to spend your
birthday with your man, and then it's Casa Amor.
And then it's Casa Amor.
Well, so you know what show you got onto. You should be knowing that Casa Amor is coming. So let's just get into this episode a little bit. So Will and Kira, they have a talk, and he wants to bring their relationship outside the island, outside the villa. And she talks about him being his Love Island experience. And so we know that they're laying out the groundwork for what we see in the preview for the next episode, with maybe Will's head potentially getting turned. Right. So we're seeing the relationship. What do you think? Do you think, now that you've seen the trailer, do you think his head's going to get turned?
So the only thing interesting about that conversation I saw was them actually admitting that they do live near each other. Other than that, I was just like, guys, there's something missing from here. And so I'm just like, something is missing from this conversation.
I think it's the language barrier and the fact that she's not really that bubbly or lively, considering she's a Leo, which is surprising. But
I don't think that's true, because even we saw a little bit of her personality when they were talking, like she was talking to, but
in relationships, it seems like she's not that bubbly or open. Like she just wants to like make sure that they're sticks with her, kind of like Mackenzie, kind of.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's just like
like really Mackenzie's whole personality dimmed in her haste of trying to keep Connor into a relationship with her.
Mackenzie's also a Leo.
Got it. Okay, then
I say this is just very interesting to notice their similarities with getting in kind of these relationships where they want the guy to stay with them and to give them all the attention and not to look at anybody else, but they're also not being fun and likable. I remember when they were at Casa Amor, we liked Mackenzie so much because like, oh my God, she's like normal, she's fun, like she's great. And then when she's with her relationship with Connor, she's like, oh my God, she's such a drip. So it could be
and she did this to me. She did the same thing with Jalen, which is why I wasn't necessarily not on Jalen's side. I know a lot of people feel like he gaslighted her, but you did see her do the exact same thing to Jalen that she did.
Just like entrap them, make them feel guilty about like, hurting you, which is fine. Like you don't want to get hurt in a relationship, but the way that they do it, it's like a little bit of emotional manipulation. I think from an outwards perspective, I'm not there, I'm not them, and I'm not judging them, I'm just judging the actions outwardly.
I can definitely see that. Now, whether I have a feeling it's going to be, and I know I don't like to compare because then people are like, oh, the show is trying to do the same formula and the format of what happened last year. I think it'll probably end up being And I actually more want to say a Curtis and Amy situation where he might actually go for Flo and be tempted to actually go to her and then change his mind and actually stay with Kira, and then have to tell Kira, you know what, I almost went to, and Flo ends up back in the villa. So like, Jordan came back to the villa and he had to basically tell Amy he was gonna go with her, but then he decided to stay with her. I think it might be a similar situation to that. Some people are comparing it more to that. Even Giovanni said it, that how Johnny messed around on Sally with Mercedes. With
I don't
Ben.
think I don't think it would be like a Johnny situation, because I don't think that he's that disrespectful.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't want to say it's a Johnny Sally situation, because people are taking that as, oh, the show is trying to set up the same thing. I think it'll more be really like a Curtis Amy situation, in that he might kiss her outside of a challenge, not necessarily make out with her, not necessarily mess around in the bed with her, but I think he's going to explore the situation with her, which he should, because then if he does come back to Kira, then we know that that's what he really wants to. But I don't think, considering Kira is going around on cheeks to people, she's not going to appreciate this.
But I think she'll forgive him in a second, though. I don't think that she will not get back together with him if he comes and apologizes and lets her know the truth. I don't think there's a world where she'd be like, no, I didn't kiss anybody and you kissed somebody. I think she'll cry, and I think that she'll just allow him to apologize 100 times to her, and then she'll forgive him. That's kind of that's the arc that I see going to happening. So what did you think about the Josh and Shannon situation? They're talking about well, how do you feel about our couple? And Shannon just was kind of like, I don't fully trust you yet. And Josh really got offended by the fact that he thinks that he's done enough to make her feel comfortable, and that he should be able to go and explore how much she wants to explore without her always saying that he needs to prove to her and make her feel confident. So you can tell probably by my attitude what I think, but what do you think?
I think we're going to go back to the original situation that I had in the beginning of the season, where I think Shannon's going to bring somebody back and Josh is going to be left standing there with nobody.
Well, and Josh, even when he talks to the guys about this after, and he's like, oh, well, she does go and see anybody, she'd be a hypocrite. She'd be a hypocrite. And it's like, wait, so you are allowed to say that I'm allowed to go and do this, and she's not allowed to be like, well, I don't really want that, but I guess I have to accept that. And so then if she goes and decides to do that, she's a hypocrite now.
Right, which is why I don't think he'll pick a girl out of Casa Amor, right?
If you're not going to pick a girl out of Casa Amor, he should have said that to her when she's like, listen, he should have said, in my opinion, that, hey, I really am happy where we are right now. I don't want to close any doors to anybody, especially if we know that.
That's what he did say, though. Isn't that what he said? He said, I'm going to talk to these girls. I'm going to give them a chance.
But he didn't make it, to me, he didn't make it seem as though he wanted to stay with Shannon, that he wasn't really going to maybe explore things. He made it seem as though his head could be turned.
Yeah, I don't think, and I said this, I think last episode, I don't think Shannon would have taken anything less than, let's do the boyfriend-girlfriend dance around the villa. And so I know that we are boyfriend and girlfriend going into whatever situations that come next, in order for her to feel 100% secure personally.
Well, that's my point is that I don't understand why Josh doesn't, he's saying to her, hey, we're together, but somebody might turn my head. And that is not reassuring for Shannon, especially since you've already had your head be turned. So if you're saying that, you're basically saying to her that hey, it's a free for all. Then we're not going to be in anything exclusive. So she should have the free reign to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it would be hypocritical to say that Shannon should go to wherever and be a nun, and hypocritical to say that if she does decide to come back with somebody who promises her the world, that you're not promising, that she's being a hypocrite. I just feel like he's also very young, and I don't know if he knows if he has the emotional verbiage to say to her, while I don't feel like we are ready for an exclusive relationship right now, the only person that I know that I want is you.
Yeah, say that. And then if you want to say, like, I know that we're in this villa to be tested and stuff like that, and so I'm not going to just completely put my back to everybody, but just know that you're the only person that I really want to be with right now, and I can't imagine my head being turned. He needs to reinforce that.
Which is what Will is saying to Kira, right?
Exactly.
But again, also Will hasn't done the boyfriend girlfriend dance around the villa either. So this is my thing with both of them, and my whole thing is, if they come back to the villa and Will comes back to Kira and he doesn't do that, I'm going to continue to be very skeptical of their relationship.
If he doesn't do the boyfriend girlfriend thing, he will do it for sure. He's romantic.
Yeah, he has to. Like, if that's not the trajectory of this story, then I'm sorry, I don't believe them.
Okay, I have a question. So there's a scene where Trina was crying, and I know that, they're putting in these moments for Trina to look like she's being vulnerable, and yeah, exactly, so that the audience may start growing a liking towards her. And she has Will come in to talk to her. I felt that was the most produced segment ever, because like they sat and they talked about, Trina talks about how her old feelings are resurfacing, about like, feeling insecure and all that stuff with Cinco. And she just kind of wants to now remove herself from this situation. Well, she never should have inserted herself, but fine. And Will says, you guys had the opportunity to stay, so we take that opportunity to really work towards something. And then he just leaves. He doesn't hug her, and he wasn't like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, there was none of like interaction. I felt like they're like, the producer's like, Will, can you just go and talk to Trina? Can you just say something? We need another segment with Trina, or Trina fans are going to think that we're not showing her doing anything.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I thought, again, there's a difference. I don't know if did you ever get to watch the Laid Bare episode where she was talking to Amy about what happened to her in her past, and she was like actually crying in her confessional?
Oh, so maybe when I watched the Laid Bare, but I thought it was on the show.
No. This was different. This was the
oh, maybe not.
Yeah, so she was actually crying real tears. She had real emotions. Like, even her telling the story to Amy, you felt what she was feeling, what's happening to her. I don't know if the producers say, hey, that story that you told to such and such, or what you were saying the other day in the confessional, tell that to Will. But I don't, like, there's no real tears when she does those things. Like, there's tears, and when she's really showing true emotion, and these, I'm not seeing any real tears. So it's not working, whatever they're trying to do. I know Will is also Cinco's BFF there. So I don't know, that was why they played it like that. To me, it just didn't, it's breathing false. And I need her to start making some changes in order for maybe us to feel like it's not false. Now, she also then decided, like, first she was like kind of wishy-washy, like, oh, I have to have a conversation. She couldn't have the conversation. Then she was like, she's going to stay loyal to him and show him that she's, in it with him 100%. And then the guys come in, and all of a sudden she's like, I'm really excited to talk to you guys. So these are the things, like, I said, I don't think that Trina's going to be able to move past some of her deep-rooted issues on this show. It's always going to come up. It's always going to play into how she's playing this game.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, Cinco's kind of caught into not wanting to hurt her when it shouldn't necessarily be all about that. I appreciate people exploring what they've gone through and like growing and learning, but I think that she has a lot too much growing and learning. It's not just like, oh my God, I date, like, I'm just a perpetual dater. It's like, it's not like little trivial, dating problems. It's like
Yeah.
it's really deep, and like it should see
Yeah.
some sort of
Same
counseling of
thing
some
with like
sort.
Mackenzie last season.
Oh yeah, she had.
Yeah, she had
well, my
some,
guess was ugly duckling syndrome, that like she wasn't
yeah.
cute for a long time, and then she kind of came into her own, and I think that she still had a mentality of not being considered the prettiest one, and so she was very insecure. That's what my guess was about Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So we do see Olivia talking to Josh, and he explains the same story to Olivia, just about him being annoyed. But like, why is he annoyed? Like, obviously you're going to be like the girls. What?
That story when Olivia was was listening to the story, you could tell she was so bored.
He's like,
she's like, why are you telling me this?
And then she's like, oh, that's what we're talking about. Oh, okay.
And it was hilarious.
Yes, so she just was like, it didn't. She was like, he was like, she still doesn't trust me, and it's kind of like I'm so tired of men. Usually, it's men that do this. I'm sure everybody's done it, but men is what I've seen do it most recently, where they're just like, they do something wrong and they're irritated by the timeline it takes for the woman to get over it.
Right.
She should be over it by now. Like even Johnny and Sally, when Johnny goes and does whatever with Mercedes, and Sally was still upset about it. And he's like, well, like, I've already apologized. I've done everything I needed to do. I told you everything that's happened. Like, you should be over it. And it's like, well, you know what? Like, why are you telling me how long it takes for me to heal? Yeah. Like, for me to get over it.
That's literally what lost Johnny and Sally the game. Literally, I think people probably would have gave them the crown, but the way he treated Sally after it took her, I mean, she was generally hurt, and she had a right to be, and he just wanted her to just get over it. And that part is the reason why he lost the game.
I can see that, and that taking the sunglasses off her face moment.
Oh, that pissed people off so much. They're like, how dare he? Like they were like he was borderline abusive. I don't feel like he was abusive, but he was definitely gaslighting her in that she should just get over it because it wasn't that bad, and he's young and he was supposed to explore.
Okay, Big Ray says, I'm there with Josh. There's nothing more annoying than needing to reassure someone about your loyalty every day. Having that little confidence is the biggest turnoff in the world to me. I
not really if you're the person. Yeah, not if you're the person that messed up. If you're the person, again, if you are the person that messed up in the relationship, you have to reassure the person every day until they're able to get over it. If the person can get over it eventually,
then fine, move on. Fine.
Right.
You messed up. You fucked it up.
Right. Because we saw that happen on Temptation Island, right? This couple was in a couple together for 10 years. And because he cheated, she could not get over it. And then they went on Temptation Island, and he was able to prove to her that he wanted just her. And they got engaged or whatever. But I said, if at the end of this show, she could not get over it, it's been like 10 years. There would be no point in continuing the relationship, because that means you're never going to get over it.
Well, exactly. Or they haven't done anything to make you feel confident that they're not going to do it again. And that is what the fear is that you're doing it again. Like, you're going to look stupid, that you like are going to have your heart broken again, that you could get STDs. Like, you can get another woman pregnant. You can have another life with somebody that you don't know about. Like, these are all the things that are going through, not necessarily her head, but when cheating happens in a relationship, or people stepping outside or doing things that are not completely transparent and faithful, like, if they choose to continue being in a relationship with you, you shouldn't be like, do you know what though? Like, if you don't get over this quickly, it's a big turn off. Like, there's a big turn off. You cheating on me. F off. Like, so
not just cheating, just anything being done in a relationship that is hurtful to the other person. You can never sit there and tell the person how long that it should take them to get over it, because you are two different individuals. Not everybody gets over the same thing at the same time, and not everybody has the same pace of, like, I think about things all the time. There's still things that I think about that I'm just like, oh, I wish I could get over this. And that's just, me, I'm an overthinker. So,
And I can even agree with that with some friends or like good acquaintances. I remember I had this one argument last year with a friend about, it was about issues like reality TV and how people of color get treated in reality television, like the competitive game shows. So usually the black person is out first, or like they're not able to get into an alliance, like whatever. There's just some things that you can expect going in as a person of color to play these competitive reality shows, particularly Big Brother we're talking about. This is a white guy. He's a gay man, but he was white, and he completely couldn't see the fact that, oh, well, no, they just got him out because he was going to be a social threat. It's like, no. If you would have been aligning with someone that you thought was going to be a social threat, and you would have been making friends with them, he was being removed from the game because of the fact that he was different or other. And we got in a big, huge fight about just like him not seeing the fact that social biases and have been influencing the way he sees the game, and with the way that a lot of people sees any of these reality TV shows.
yeah.
And so I was trying to explain it to him, and then he started gaslighting me and like being like showing me examples and this and that, and like how it's not possible that like it's these are the facts, and like this person did this and this person did that. That's why they're being targeted. I'm like, okay, so you're saying like the only two black people in this particular game are being targeted the same week, but by someone that shouldn't be targeting them because they're on the same team, is not have anything to do with the color of their skin. You have some learning to do here.
Yeah.
And so big fight. And then I finally forgave him, right? Finally, like it really made my blood boil that he couldn't see where I was coming from. But I was like, okay, well, a white man, even though he's had some adversity in his life because he's grown up gay, like he doesn't understand what it's like to have a black experience. So I'll forgive him for this.
Right.
And I realized though that I'm always was watching him now to see when these things would resurface again, and when he's going to show these same colors again, which is probably what Shannon is doing. Like every little thing, she's probably like, oh, is that him going to do it again? Oh, is that him going to cheat again? And this is just a friendship of mine with someone that like zero romantic interest. I'm watching everything that he does to see if that pattern is going to come back again. And lo and behold, you look for it, you're going to find it. It did happen again. And now we're no longer friends anymore because it became something that he did again. So he could have easily said like, oh, well, you don't trust me. Like that's a turnoff. I don't want to be friends with you anymore, which would have been fine. But like he did something that put me off, and now I'm supposed to be the one that's like, he's supposed to be doing enough to make me want to forgive him, in my opinion. So I see where Shannon's coming from. You're on a game show, so it's like, okay, get over it a little bit more quickly, Shannon. But I understand her seeing all these red flags and wanting to trust him, but they're also on a show where the temptation is going to come in. She wants to know that her heart is going to be protected.
And this is my thing, though. I do agree in that if Shannon can't get over it, if she comes to a place where she realizes she cannot get over it, after really thinking about it, she really does need to just move on from Josh. And that's my opinion on it. But I agree. Nobody should be able to tell you when and how to
feel, how to respond. It's like if somebody passes away and you're like, you're still grieving over this.
Yeah. And that friend of yours, they should watch 4 Weddings. I used to watch TLC's 4 Weddings all the time. And very rarely did a black person ever win those shows in the like first few seasons, because depending on the location, how many other brides of color there were in the group, most of the time they would not rank the black brides high enough for them to win.
Exactly. Okay, so Chidima says, I think that Cinco will not be coupled up. Trina will not be coupled up. Cash will be coupled up. Cinco will tell Trina that he wants Cash and tries to convince Cash to couple up with him next. Do you think that this is the storyline?
I think Cinco could couple up with somebody. I think Trina probably will not be coupled up. I can see Cash being coupled up. I can see Cinco going back to Trina and not telling her that he was going to choose Cash, and then seeing Cash happy with whoever, Raul,
Go and say something to go mess it up.
then go say something, mess it up to get Cash back. That's what I see happening.
Oh boy, I can see both scenarios happening, but I do see, for the drama of it all, do you think, okay, so if that's the case, do you think that Cash will take Cinco back?
Depends on how strong her relationship with whoever she chooses to bring to Casa Amor, which is why I just don't think she can get there with Raul. I think she could get there with, I think she could get there with Charlie, because they seem, he's 30. The question he asked her off the bat, no other guy has asked that question. I think he generally might be like, okay, let's see what you're into, what is underneath there. I think him asking her more deeper questions, and he's more laid back, kind of like a Cinco, I think might pull her away from Cinco. So that's the only reason why I'm leaning Charlie, but that's my opinion on that also.
Oh, back to this, Netha, I totally agree with you here. So I think that Shannon wanted some reassurance from Josh in that convo. Instead, he made it worse by saying he just wants to get to know other people. From Shannon's point of view, their relationship has changed since. Exactly. I agree with you for sure.
I mean, it should be from both point of view. They had sex, so their relationship has definitely changed. So, I definitely understand Shannon wanting more reassurance. I just think she's expecting it from somebody that I don't think has the verbiage. Like he does not know how to say what, like, even I would say the same thing about Trina, Cinco, and Cash. They're expecting Cinco to say what he wants, and I don't know if he knows how to. I don't think he said it. He said he doesn't know how to get out of his situation with Trina. I don't think he knows.
I think though it's because he's handcuffed to the fact that Trina is very emotionally unstable in this type of scenario, with all of her insecurities, and so I think that he doesn't know how to navigate that landmine. That's what I think is going on. Hi, Divine Me. Hello, all. Have a happy week. I'm increasingly concerned about the image people form of Cinco as being a bad boy. Does he come across as a bad boy to you?
I've never seen anybody say that Cinco's a bad boy.
Maybe one of the new girls in Casa Amor might have said that.
Well, no, the new girl in K said that Cinco was aggressive, and I was like, Cinco is not aggressive. Cinco has not played an aggressive game. Cinco has not gone after what he wants, not once in this show.
He's quite smooth and slow, and like he's more molassesy than aggressive. You know?
That's the point. That's why he likes Cash. Cash is aggressive. He's laid back. That's why Cash likes him, and he likes Cash, because they're not. And I think what it is he thought that Trina was aggressive and would give him similar energy, and she's not. She's not like that.
Divine Me says, okay, rather than Cinco is an inexperienced young man who is just now seeking his way in the dating world. Yes. Or seeing a lot of emotions he may not have been able to experience himself in real life yet. Yeah, I mean, I think that all of the guys are pretty inexperienced with relationship, but that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, which is another reason why I like see, this is my thing. I wish they would cast older men. Like so far the last 3 seasons, it feels like they tend to cast younger men, and I don't know if it's that because older men aren't trying out, whereas the UK they get older men. And so this is why we're seeing men who do not go after what they want, who play it safe, who don't know how to navigate relationships, who don't know how to communicate when they're dating 2 girls or 2 girls want to date them. And it's annoying me, but I don't think, and I have not seen anybody who thinks that Cinco is a bad guy or a bad boy. They blame him for the situation because
I could have dealt with it better.
Right, because he's basically pitting 2 girls against each other, and unfortunately, it's 2 black women, which makes it even worse, who are friends.
Rowan, I'm with you. I never forgive people. I try, but I just can't. I mean, I can forgive people, but it's almost like I'm waiting for them to mess up again, and then it'll be done for good. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
I'm giving them a chance, but like I know that they're going to mess up again or whatever. So I should stop bothering with the second chance.
I'm a Taurus, so I'm stubborn. It's not easy for me to forgive. I do eventually forgive, but I will never forget.
No way, never. Okay, so Big Red says that Josh never wanted to get to know people. Basically, he said that he won't be disrespectful to the girls and cut it without giving them a chance. It's just
Right,
not what she wanted to hear.
But he didn't even say that to Shannon. He said that to the guys. So when he had that part of the conversation that he didn't want to be disrespectful to girls coming in, and I think he might have stated it also to Olivia. He did not say that to Shannon though. Because I feel like this is a good stance. You don't want to be disrespectful to the girls coming in because it's not fair to them for everybody to be closed off. Got it. But that's not the way you're stating it. You're saying to them to Shannon that you guys are still open, and she doesn't understand why y'all could be as open as you're portraying it, considering you guys had sex and you guys are farther into your relationship than you were in the beginning when you messed up.
Mm-hmm. It's the sex thing. I think that if they hadn't had sex and had the hideaway and had all those intimate moments, I think that she would less likely want to have some reassurance because she's less emotionally connected. And it's been a fact that women they tie their emotions with sex, guys don't. So right. She is emotionally more connected to him than they were before when he actually messed up. So I completely agree with you with that. That is what's different. That is what's changed. That's why she needs reassurance, because you guys are at a new level. Period.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Olivia pissed you off with that finally feeling wanted and pursued thing. Oh, because Giovanni was pursuing her this whole time.
Yeah, me too. She pissed off a lot of people on Twitter. My whole thing is, he wasn't pursuing you. He was having a conversation with you.
Sorry, I just need to see this. Sorry. Big Red says, could be on his side just because I mess up a lot, and after I do it, it makes me feel more clearly, and I wouldn't want to make the same mistake twice, but most people don't buy it when it's the truth. If you mess up often, that means that you mess up often, and I would be very scared if I was going to be dealing with you. Sorry, that's hilarious. Okay, go on.
Yeah, no, I would say a lot of people on Twitter were mad at her because they're like, but Giovanni was pursuing you. And this guy is not even pursuing you. He's just sitting down having a conversation with you. That's pursuit. Like, it's not, I've actually found it very funny, and it's probably more sad, but I found it funny that none of these people asked about Olivia. And this is my thing too, with people who are like, people are playing the game, they watch the show, they have internet access. If that was the case, Olivia's an absolutely easy target to get into the villa. Exactly.
Like, I don't know why they would go into to Shannon, two guys, because she's locked in. Like, she could get turned, but like, it's gonna be a lot more difficult than Olivia. Hi, Taylor. So I find it really disrespectful that some people think that any man who shows interest in cash is automatically playing a game. They're projecting their own insecurities, and I'm not here for it. We're not here for it either. We talked about this in the beginning a little bit. It's kind of like, because they don't think that cash is pretty enough to be warranting having these attractions. Like, it's actually offensive. It's actually offensive that why can't she have all these people being attracted to her?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not understanding it at all, and it's annoying, and it's not. Some people are like, "Oh, that's just certain cultures are saying that about her," but it's even Black people are saying it about her, and it like, because there's this Trina and her comparison, and I'm just not here for it. I'm not here with pitting the girls against each other in their looks, and I'm not here for that unless somebody specifically was coming on for Trina, there's no way that they could want cash.
Yes, exactly. So Virgo Love, who made the aggressive comment? I don't remember now.
It was Kay. the girl that likes him, Kay.
Oh, the black girl. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like,
I said, what show are you watching? And another thing is like some of these people, they come in there and they're like, what show? I'm like, this is how you know they don't have all the information. When has Cinco ever been aggressive? Ever been aggressive?
I wish he was more aggressive, because then he would have gotten what he wanted.
Yes.
He's too soft.
I wish.
Hello, Elizabeth. Love you too. Definitely, yeah. I've never seen Cinco be aggressive at all. Okay, so let's just blow through this episode a little bit. So they go to sleep. In the morning, they sing happy birthday. I guess it's to Corey. It could be to Corey and Kira. I'm not sure, but Corey definitely was his birthday. We see Jeremy, Cinco, and Josh talk about Cinco's feelings, and Cinco says out loud that he thinks that he has stronger feelings for Cash, and that the relationship that he has with Trina isn't as good as the one that he had with Cash, and the guys agree and see it. So that's really surprising, especially because we know that Casa Amor is coming. Like, is he going to get a chance to say this to them before that? Nope. Because I got a text, and the boys are going to be leaving the villa. They're going to do hashtag brews and bros, hashtag no chicks allowed. And they go for some drinks, and they go to chat and talk. This is where we learn more about, go ahead.
Sorry. Why was Cinco humping the couch? I need to understand what he thought was going to happen on this boys' day out. For real. I need somebody to tell me. Nobody can tell me so far what he thought was going to go down with beers and tater tots. So I want to know. That's all I have to say. I was like, why is he humping the couch?
Maybe because he knows that when he comes back, there's going to be new girls. I don't know.
I was like, why is he humping the couch? What does he think is going to happen?
Does anybody know why Cinco was humping the couch? Please let me know.
Right.
Hilarious. I didn't really look that much in the boys' chat. Pretty much the same thing, the same conversations that are being had. Yeah. We see back at the villa, Cash telling Shannon about her conversation with Trina, and Shannon was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you haven't told me yet." And she's like, I haven't said anything yet." And I was just like, she probably hasn't told you yet, Shannon, because you kind of have a big blabbermouth, and she probably doesn't trust you that much yet. And I remember, I think it was last episode or a couple episodes ago, where Cash said something, and like, I'm telling my best friend after you. Like, she kind of like, I think Olivia is a better friend to Cash, but she doesn't want Shannon to not feel as though that they're close. And so she's always like, well, you too. Like, you're also my best friend, but it's really Olivia. It's definitely really Olivia.
Yeah.
Trina is about like meeting potential new guys, talking to Trina. She wants to put it all in on Cinco. She doesn't really want to explore anybody else. And so I just don't understand why she's not willing to explore anybody else. Like, why is she all in on Cinco, but she's worried about Cinco being involved, like wanting Cash more than her? Like, is it just so that she gets hurt? I'm not understanding why. I would think that this would be the catalyst for her to go and be like, let me go see if there's another man that like maybe I have some feelings for.
Yeah, I was very confused. It's like last episode she's like, I want a man who just wants me. I'm like, yeah, but you chose a man who didn't just want you. You chose a man who wanted somebody else and then went after him. So it's kind of like now she's like, okay, if I just stick beside him, he's gonna stay with me. And I don't know. I don't know.
Divine says that maybe they thought they were going to like a strip club or something.
Oh, maybe. I'm like, there's strip clubs in Hawaii. Anyway, I just thought it was hilarious.
Okay, hold on. Kay said he was assertive.
Yeah, she said he was assertive.
So with the aggressive.
Assertive. I thought it was.
Either way, he wasn't. I don't find him to be very assertive.
He's neither. Yeah, he's neither. He has not said what he wants. He's not gone after what he wants. He's not that type of person.
No.
It doesn't feel like.
Not in my eyes either. So I was kind of annoyed though that like Trina, like, come on, like go and try to get another guy. But I think that she only likes what she's not hers. And so I bet she'll have some interest in a guy as soon as one really likes Cash. and she would be like, oh, like I never really got a chance to get to know him, and then she's gonna put it on him. That's what I think of her style.
I think she's either playing it that way, or she's playing it that if she doesn't come back with anybody, that means she was the loyal one.
And then Cinco looks bad. Mm-hmm.
That's true. No, she was, and then Cash looks bad. Yeah. When Cash is playing it absolutely correct, and I was hoping this is how she was going to play it, because he screwed up. I said, and I hope he loses both girls personally, and then he's going to see how it feels. But losing Cash might be enough for it. But I said I was so glad he sat there. That's what I'm saying. He's not assertive. He sat there and waited till the last minute to try to have that conversation, and he missed his window because she said it. If he had come to her and said to her, I want you, she said she would have stayed loyal, and he didn't. And so I'm glad that Cash did not have to have that conversation with him so that she could find somebody else.
Exactly. So I got a text, and they read it, and it's Olivia gets it, and she's like, I'm like, she's like, not like, what is it? What does it say? What does it say?
I'm like, spit it out.
Spit it out. Come on. Got a text. And so they're going to be going to Casa Amor. Cash is really happy. And this is where she said that she wished that she had that conversation with Cinco, because, and in that conversation, he didn't decide that it was going to be definitively her. And with that means that she is open to exploring Casa Amor, which I'm also really happy about. So we saw Shannon. She's driving in this car. They have a red convertible. This is probably why they had to get rid of Amy or Florida, because like they only had room for 5 people in the car. Like I think that's why.
Points are being made. Points are being made.
So the 5 of the girls, they go to Casa Amor, and Shannon said that she's bringing her sexy lingerie, because that lingerie was very sexy. And I was like, girl, that's
so does that one have a hideaway? Because I know the UK one, they said they built a hideaway in that one, and I'm like, what are they going to do in the hideaway at Casa Amor?
Yeah, no, get to know each other a little bit better. I feel like they do, but I can't. They're all blending and blurring together. Yeah, I can't remember which is which. Yeah. So we see the guys, and I said with the guys out, I'm like, Josh is annoying. That's all I wrote down. I don't know why. Oh, okay. Yeah. But Cinco does say he likes who he was when he was with Cash more. And that's going to be the common thread, even though when they get back to the villa, they're going to be meeting up with some new girls. So Ariel, firstly, though, shows up in the episode to greet the girls at Casa Amor, and they get to introduce some new men. So we have Gabe, who's 27, who's interested in Shannon. Raul's 24 from Miami, interested in Cache. Cam, 25, interested in Kira. Andrew, 29, interested in Shannon. And Charlie, 30, he's interested in Cache. So that's where you also were noticing, like, man, like, nobody interested in Trina or Olivia. Ouch. Like, that's like, it's hurtful a little bit, but you know, it's part of the name of the game. People didn't get stepped forward for at the beginning game. So it's a similar type of deal. So Andrew's sitting beside Shannon, and so is Gabe. And I don't remember who asked. I think probably Olivia. I was like, so which of the girls here are you guys interested in? And Andrew's like, well, I'm sitting beside her right now. And then Gabe's like, I'm also sitting beside her right now. And so they're both interested in Shannon. She's obviously gorgeous, but like, it's kind of like basic.
I was just basic, like, gorgeous. Okay, like, and then when Andrew goes to talk to Cash later, I was like, yeah, no, I don't get it. So
no, that's not going to be a thing. That's not going to be a thing. But Olivia does say that she wants to give everybody a chance. She said that she originally was not attracted really to anybody herself, and this kind of goes to the point for me too, is that usually the people that you're attracted to are attracted back to you. And so the fact that nobody is immediately attracted to Olivia and she's not immediately attracted to anybody, that also makes sense to me as well. And with Trina, they could have also maybe seen some footage to see that, like, she's all in on Cinco. Maybe still won't get involved in that love triangle as well. Could be a reason why they didn't want to explore that. and they saw that Cash kind of was done a little bit dirty, so they wanted to maybe pursue her. She was a little more open than potentially Trina was. So
right. So my theory still holds. And I'm going to stick beside it until I see differently, that I have a feeling Olivia is going to end up coupled up with Jeremy to the end.
I can see it because she was interested in him before. Blech, 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 blech. Terrible. So we cut to now seeing the new girls that are going to be going into to the villa. And we have Genevieve is 22. She's interested in Shoss, and she's also best friends with Shannon's sister. She's beauty, brains, and boobies.
Whoever casted her, give them a pay raise.
Why?
That's just a drama. Just a drama. She's annoying as hell. But
Yeah,
just the idea that she could have potentially went after Josh and ended up with him is hilarious. So yeah, hilarious.
But spoiler alert, but she does, when she meets them, she does say that she already knows Shannon. So that will probably take her off the table for Josh, I would say.
Yeah, no, he wasn't paying any attention to her. I think he likes Flo, right?
Everybody does.
Go through the rest of them.
So we got Leslie. She's 24 from Texas. That's the girl with the pink hair, right? Or purple hair?
Yes. She's got the purple hair.
Isabel, 21. She's interested in Corey. So very happy that Corey has somebody that's coming in interested in him. She tends to ghost guys, so I'm just like, oh boy, is she gonna be a problem? We have Kay, who's 24. She's interested in Cinco. She's from Florida. And then we have Flo, or Flo Money. She's 26, and I didn't write down where she's from. But everybody,
she's
Miami. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. These Miami girls. There's a lot of guys from Miami too.
Yeah, she's a rapper too.
Yes.
She didn't say
Flo
that.
Money. Flo Money.
Flo Money. I love it. Yeah, so I definitely, it didn't seem like, even if he liked her, once she said that she knows Shannon, and Shannon's little sister was her bestie, I think that was an instant turn off for him, and he was just like, okay, I've got to be on my P's and Q's, and I'm done with this. So you're no.
Hi, T-Lit. So T-Lit says, reminds me of Delisa too, which may be Miss Delisa, LOL. Did you watch The Circle? She's from The Circle, the most recent US season of The Circle. She's great. I really like her a lot. I can see that. It's kind of, I think it's how they do their baby hairs, their baby bangs are kind of similar, and they have a similar coloring, and their faces are similar, but not the same. Nicole in her underwear.
Are they talking about Cash? She didn't leave her underwear. It was her do-rag in her head.
Oh, yes, her do-rag.
That's the most intimate thing between the two of them. Why would she leave her underwear? She left the do-rag.
It was a do-rag. I thought it was amazing.
It was a do-rag in her headband.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I know. It's so cute.
Like, I know some people think like, oh my God, like the girls are being so possessive. Like, but like the fact that she leaves his do-rag, and when she goes and finds it, it's like, man, this Cash left a do-rag here.
Yeah, he was, and they're like, did Trina leave you anything? He's just like, and it's like he didn't even care. He's just staring at the damn do-rag in the headband, like, oh crap. Like
who's gonna tie her do-rag in her head at night?
Like, it was so, like, I don't know. If they do end up coupling back up, I would not be surprised. He seems to realize how much he really does like her. But I really do think I personally kind of hope he missed his window, because I don't feel like he deserves her at this point. He like, you slow, you blow.
The only thing is that I like her with him better than I've so far liked her with any of these three new guys. So I'm just kind of like, oh.
I know, same. I liked their relationship. He screwed it up. It's all his fault.
Ding dong. Ding dong. I blame Trina for like inserting herself in there. Yes, blame him for the fact that he was tempted, but like, I wish that she just left it alone and allowed her to just have her own experience. Pissed off. So Flo wipes off the lipstick. I was like, aggressive. Was it
like, Flo or was it Isabel? I couldn't figure out who it was.
I thought it was Flo, but maybe I'm wrong, because I thought it was Flo. I definitely thought it was. I could be wrong though, actually, to be fair. But anyways, one of the girls, the new girls, wipe off the lipstick that I think it was Kira that left for Will, which is so catty.
Yeah.
So the boys get a text, hashtag boy hi, and they're learning that the girls are going to be waiting for them in the villa. So they go there and they see these hot women waiting for them. So they go into their introductions. Isabel is the baby, and she's from Minnesota. And he's like, oh, really? Like, I went to Minnesota or University of Minnesota. And she's like, so did I. Like, we probably have totally so many mutual friends. And he's like, why is that so surprising? Is Minnesota a very small state? Like, why? I feel like, why?
I mean, maybe where University of Minnesota is. That's possible.
So just was like, it didn't seem like it was because he seemed like so shocked that somebody else went to University of Minnesota. And I'm like,
yeah. I mean, it probably. I mean, I was more shocked that he went to the University of Minnesota.
Yeah.
But it kind of does make sense because remember he was a football player, so
yeah, so he
probably got a good scholarship, right? Because the reason why I was surprised is because if he lived in Virginia, I was surprised that one of I mean, they have really good schools in Virginia, so I'm shocked that one of them didn't pull him and give him a good scholarship. But University of Minnesota must have gave him an excellent football scholarship for him to come out there. So, am I shocked that that's possible? No. I'm just I think it also might have.
Sorry, I just saw a tweet from Murad. It says hashtag was quote new beginnings ? Hugo, you need to go. Sorry, Hugo needs to go. Just
he does. I like after what he did to Toby, so I'm all caught up. I watched last night.
I'm still Team Hugo on that. I can't stand Toby.
No. I did you see the After Sun interview with Georgia? Georgia said that it was performative, and I agree. It felt performative. I just didn't like it, like what he did, because I feel like he disrespected Georgia, in my opinion.
Yes.
Did what he said was true? Yes. Should he have said it to Toby? Yes. Should he have done it where he did it? No. That's my
I loved every second of it. I was just like,
but it was excellent.
Hugo, just say it. Say it all. Get it all out there.
It was excellent TV. So I was definitely living for it. With Chloe there. Yes! I can't stand her both. But yeah, he needs to go. And it was so funny because he said, Murad last night said, I'm sorry, I don't care about watching Hugo and Chloe find love in Casa Amor. And I retweeted him and I said, this, but Olivia and Jeremy. But yeah, so
time is left. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so but it's a huge school, but it's the area that surrounds it. Is it like a small town? Because like I have a big school near me in my town, but that's a well-known school in our area. But it's in a small town, so it's probably why he thought, oh, that's kind of shocking to find somebody here on Love Island that's gone to the
I guess they're in Hawaii. It's not even nearby, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. You're welcome. I don't know what I did. I do like their relationship so much. Sorry, Tamika. I can see Cash thinking about Cinco while interacting with these boys in Casa. She is thinking about him.
No, I definitely
all comparing.
She was doing it with Isaiah, so I can definitely see her.
Oh shoot, we're done, T-Lit. We're done. That's like 3 episodes ago. Like, how far behind are you? Sorry, girl. Yeah, we are done now. I thought it was funny though. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to this episode. Let's try to blow through the rest of it. Corey's saying it's his birthday today, and so everybody's like, "Oh my god, happy birthday! Like this is your birthday present. All this new girls, yes."
Corey actually had personality this entire episode. Mm-hmm. He was making jokes like in the confessional. I'm sorry, but the entire I feel like every segment with the boys and these villa girls, though I was a little sad because I'm like, Giovanni is sorely needed in these scenes. He was sorely missed, sorely needed. I mean, if not for the girls being very catty, I don't know if we would have anything with that side.
Yeah, it's boring.
It made me wish they showed the girls more. I felt like they kept showing the boys, and I'm like, yeah, some of this is not working for me. Can we show what the girls are doing, who they're talking to? Yeah, it was annoying.
Totally agree. Shannon, or I don't remember which girl it is, but she talks about being Shannon's little sister's best friend.
Genevieve.
Genevieve. Mm-hmm. So Cinco wishes that he had talked to Trina and Cash before coming to Casa Amor because everything's still in limbo and he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, you should have. You should have done that because you gave neither of them any reassurance. So you now don't know what they're going to do. And now you don't know what you should do. It makes it even worse for you, Mr. Cinco. Mr. Cinco. Okay, I don't really care for the relationship, like the conversations necessarily between the other guys. Like Shannon likes the look of Gabe, thinks that he's really attractive. He likes the look of her. He's his type. He's her type, et cetera, et cetera. But she misses Josh. So I don't know if he's going to be able to move her out of wanting to be with Josh.
Yeah.
Gabe says, I just love blondes, which like we know most guys usually do. So that they cast in the show anyways. So that wasn't surprising.
Right.
Olivia is potentially interested in Cam or Charlie. So, okay, I would like to see her explore that a bit. But I just don't, like, if you're going to go for someone that's Black, why couldn't it have been Giovanni? Because Giovanni was all for you, girl, and these two guys aren't really that into you right now.
Yeah, I don't see her doing well on this show at all, because especially if she goes for a Black man, I think everybody would be okay if she went for a Slade type, so like an Andrew type or whatever, because that's like the antithesis of a Giovanni. But to go for another Black man or somebody
who's not as fun, not as great, not as cute,
not as fun, it's not going to work for people. No.
Not at all. So I don't remember who said it, but people started to say that they didn't like Jeremy coming in, but like now that they've seen him in person, like he's so good looking.
I think it was Genevieve, and I'm just like, girl, go ahead so we can dump both of you, because I like you're annoying and I don't care what he does. So good. Bye.
All the guys are super interested in Flo and her body. I looked at her on Instagram, and her body's pretty fire. Yeah. Her Instagram is pretty lit as well. She has a lot of followers. So Cinco is interested in Leslie, I believe. Corey and who?
Cinco being interested in Leslie. Some people are shocked, I guess, because she's white.
With the purple hair. I was like, who's Leslie again?
Yeah.
I mean, they had a good conversation, I thought. And they were both from the South.
Yeah, I called her Cash Light. She has a lot of personality. She's a little different. She's Cash Light. Makes sense.
Now, I'm wondering, though, because Cinco does like the sexual energy. Like, that's something that makes his head get turns pretty easily. So she did mention that she was an exotic dancer. Yeah. So I wonder if that might intrigue Cinco a little bit as well, getting that sexual vibe from her. Yeah. And then also her being fun and bubbly and
I said she might just be the perfect balance of Trina and Cash that he's looking for. So go on ahead with him. I mean, that's basically what I got from it, was that she could basically combine what he feels like he's missing from one or the other girl at any
And if he brings her back, I don't think that both girls would be as intimidated.
No.
Like, because Cash will be like, well, like, she's completely different from me.
Different from me. Exactly.
But if it was another Black woman, she'd be like, oh, okay, well, there might be some competitive energy in there. But, like, I think that she would be able to, if she wanted to, she would be able to go and talk to him still. Like, there wouldn't be that weird energy that's happening with her and Trina, 100%. Yeah.
Trina would be mad, though. Trina would
She'd be jealous, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's why I'm hoping maybe she comes back with a Gabe and be done with. Because I don't see
Gabe likes blondes. I don't think he's going to like Trina.
Yeah, I don't know. Gabe wants to get into the villa. Ultimately,
I don't think he's gonna. I mean, maybe if Trina put on like moves, but I don't think so right now. It doesn't seem like he's her type, or she's his type. Jeremy and Josh like Jenny. Is that what I wrote down? I don't even know.
That's John.
And Flo.
and Flo.
Jenny and Flo. Jenny with a G. Jenny with a G.
Yeah.
And Flo and Will
is where it's at. Flo is where it's at. I can understand why everything. She's the only one with body there. She's gorgeous and she has a personality. I understand why.
She speaks a little bit of Spanish. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Hablas un poquito españoles. So Flo, though, did she say she likes Will?
She likes Will. She was adamant about liking Will. Period. So I was like, oh no, go for Corey. He lives in Miami. But she's into Will.
Will, though, is very handsome. Corey, when he shows personality, though, he gets better looking. But when he just kind of like sits there and doesn't really engage that much, it's like he doesn't have that much. So Corey feels bad for Josh, Cinco, and Will because they have to worry about their morals and their feelings and their girls and what they want and what they're going to come back to. He gets to be a free man and gets to explore. So it is lucky for him. Absolutely. Him and Jeremy definitely get to have a good time if they want to. And this is what Josh said, that Shannon would be a hypocrite. I was annoyed if her head gets turned. Well, if her head gets turned, it's because you didn't reassure her enough. You ding dong.
Same with Cash and Trina. So
head gets turned. It's because you reassured them.
Yeah, no reason.
Exactly. So over at the villa, we see Cinco and Leslie having that conversation. He takes his shade off. He wants to be a gentleman. She comments on the fact that he's a gentleman, Southern gentleman. I did like their conversation, and I was impressed that they got along so well. I thought they had a pretty good conversation, better than he has with strange Trina even. Really?
Yeah. I mean, I liked Leslie. I told you that from when I looked at her Instagram. I think she's
cute.
I think she's cute. I think she's different. And I'm the type of girl who likes a different girl. Bring me some personality, especially on my TV. I'm good to go. So I'm here for it if he ends up liking her.
I'm fine with it. I'm definitely fine with it.
Yeah.
Bring her back to the villa. I can see that all shake up, but that's fine. That works for me.
Yeah, it works for me. I just don't see him and Kay. Like, I just think he's idolizing him, and he doesn't. That's not what he likes in a person. He needs somebody who's gonna give it to him, like, play at him and not at him. That's what he likes. I think.
Yeah, he loves the teasing.
Give him the shit. Yeah. So.
We see Jenny and Jeremy. They talk about they both did gymnastics and he gravitates towards her. I didn't really think that they had a really good conversation. What?
I was like, is he lying? Like, where's this gymnastics come from? This is new information. Like,
I can see if maybe you've done gymnastics. That makes sense to me. Okay. Gymnastics is very hard. I did gymnastics as well for many years when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Back at Casa Amor, we see Shannon and Gabe's conversation. You're my type. You're my type. But she's not going to lie to him. Like she can be a little bit. What'd she say? She can't fake a vibe, and so like she's going to be fully herself. Andrew? No, this is Shannon and Gabe.
Shannon and Gabe. Okay, yeah. Yep.
Which was, I thought that would have been a deterrent, I would say, for Gabe. Like how she was acting in that conversation, I didn't find it to be attractive, but maybe Gabe is just like blinded by her blonde hair.
Yeah, it's kind of what she did with Isaiah. It's like, oh, I'm open to talking to you, and I'm interested in you. But it was more of like she's seeking attention, and she likes oh, you really want me, and that's good. I'm with Josh, but maybe. But when she really kind of has no intention of it, in my opinion. But yeah.
I mean, Cash has a beautiful body as well, but Flo just has like that. It's that butt, and people are like, it's very obvious.
Yeah. No.
Cash has a great body.
I'm not comparing Flo to Cash. Cash has probably one of the best bodies in the villa. What I was talking about was Flo. Out of all the girls that are currently in the villa, she has. That's
all I saw when she was walking. I was just like, it just stood out. I was just like, whoa.
She's like a gazelle. She's
tall, tiny waist, and then like a big butt. Like
yeah.
But it doesn't look like out of proportion big like some people are doing now. Like it looks good. She's definitely has a body that could turn some heads. At the back of the villa, Isabel says that who's their top pick? You're my top pick. She reminds me of Mercedes. Okay, that's who Isabel is. She's being a little bit sexually aggressive, which is fine. She reminded me of Mercedes, but I don't know if it's going to work as well as Mercedes. Mercedes was very good at being like, no, I want my guy. I'm going to get my guy. I'm going to make it with my guy. And I think she's trying to play that angle, but it didn't seem like it suited her that much.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. So it's like somebody asked me if I thought that she was for real. Like
Who is she talking to though? Whose bed is she going to hop into later? Who was it? Corey or Corey's?
Corey, yeah. So like if she really wants Corey, if she really likes Corey, I said she's 21. So I think she would go after whichever guy she really wanted. Like
yes.
I don't think she has any fear, any inhibitions.
No.
I think that's the angle that she's going. Whether that's her personality, we'll see if that shake out. I can definitely see her, him coupling up with him, and some girl comes in and she starts crying because he wants somebody else. I can definitely see it going on. Like it could be a mask to cover up how she really is.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell what her personality actually is.
Yeah.
It does seem like a little bit fake, but
yeah.
I'll learn about it. I'm interested in learning about all these women so far. They're all okay. They're not bad.
I agree.
Okay, that's where Cash leaves her do-rag. I was like, Cash, money, you heard. That's
I love
the
that
perfect
girl.
thing. It's the perfect thing to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I know some other people have like left their panties or packed their panties away, or Gus, they packed away Gus,
Poor Gus. Gus has been through it. He went through separation. Their mommy and daddy came back together. Now they're divorced. Poor Gus.
Gus. Who has Gus right now? I do want to know.
I think Mackenzie has Gus. And Connor has Juliet because they got a girl teddy bear.
I don't know who said this. I think this is what Jeremy said that made me laugh. I think this is. I didn't write it down. I think this was him. He said the girls walked in with a suit and briefcase and said, "We mean business." I thought it was funny. I think it was Jeremy that said that.
I can definitely see that. I literally blocked him out anytime he came on the screen, so I probably missed it. Yeah.
We learned that Game has a Pomeranian named Bear.
That conversation. That's what I was like. That conversation between him and Trina was cute. He's like, I miss him.
Well, it seemed like Trina wasn't vibing that much though with it, to be honest.
I don't know what Trina's checked out. I said that last night.
Yeah, I can see that.
I said I don't feel like she was having conversations with any of them. Like whereas Cash was engaging in conversations, because didn't I say last episode, I said what Cinco and her did, having that conversation, everybody was mad at that conversation, everybody hated that conversation, but it literally let her wall go down so she could go into this with a open situation for herself. So even if Cash comes out of this situation and she's not fully over Cinco, she at least was able to embrace the situation because she let him know how she felt. Trina did not get to have that conversation, and so now
she should have though. She's coupled up with them. She had time.
Exactly, but she refused to. Remember, she's like, I just don't want to talk to him about it right now. And then it's breathing into the situation she's in, that she can't give herself a good time, and it's like it's ruining her good time, and she has no personality. She's not checked into these conversations. She's just sitting back while they're playing games. And to be fair, that's how she seems to be usually, even when she is with Cinco. I just really do think that's her personality, but she's even more checked out to me in that she's not present in this situation at all.
Hi, Allie. So Jenny will be Jeremy's next victim. Leslie's face reminded me of a very light-skinned Trina. Maybe a little bit. Like, I mean, because Trina has a very typically beautiful face. So it's the very round, very symmetrical, very big eyes, small nose, like big lips. Like that's very typical outline of like a perfectly pretty face. Yeah. And I say that Leslie does have a similar face, but she doesn't have as big of lips, as big of eyes. But maybe if she was wearing some like fake lashes and stuff like that, she might look a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I can
don't
see it
know
a little
what she
bit.
looks. Yeah, I don't know what she looks like normally. Like, I guess. Well, we did their thing, which is so weird because their thing picture of her, their promo picture of her is her with blonde hair, but she was allowed to come with her purple hair on. And in her on her IG, she has this bright pink locks, and I think it makes her, it enhances her beauty, the colored hair, more than the blonde hair. So I just think she has that little bit of difference that Cinco likes, while being aesthetically a pretty girl. That probably works for him.
Oh boy, Earth Angel shots fired because Jeremy could be more attracted to males and don't know it. I mean, I've been saying this this whole time. Don't care, but he gives me the Colton vibes, you know? Just saying. Just saying. So what else happened? So yeah, Cam and Olivia have a bit of a conversation. And she was like, oh my God, it's like, you know me. It's because like they've obviously seen them a couple episodes at least of these people in the villa.
Right.
Ignites a fire in her soul. Who said that? Olivia? Maybe. I don't know. It wasn't really that much of a spark though in general.
I just, that conversation, she was like, it felt nice to be pursued. I said, he was having a conversation with you, girl. He wasn't pursuing you. He was just sitting next to you and had a conversation. I don't know. It was just a weird conversation. It was just weird.
Just as we already talked about it, but then the Andrew and Cash one, and it's like, he's like, well, I do love your shaved head over your wig. And I just didn't even like hearing him talk about
I'm like,
her
don't
wig.
say that. I'm like,
I just
do that. I don't feel like that was. I don't feel like that was a compliment. I don't
it's kind of like
a compliment that he thinks it is, because Cash likes her wigs. It'd be different if, you know, she had cancer and had to shave her head and she has to wear these wigs and she doesn't like them. Then you say something like that to bring her up. She likes her wigs.
She likes them both, whatever. Anyways, I just, for having a white guy say that, like, oh, I like your shaved head better than your wigs, it bothers me a little bit.
Yeah,
it just, someone's kind of like,
not a fan.
You're not really, it's not really your place to decide how she looks beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when people say like, oh, you should smile more. You're prettier when you smile. It's like, well, I'm not really in a mood to smile right now. And you saying that comment pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You could tell she was not vibing. And I don't think it's that he's white, because I think actually Cash has dated white guys before. I just think that she was turned off by how he said what he said, and that he even said it. So
Cash did make a word flub here, though. She said complimentative. I'm like, what word's that? But we forgive her because she's cute.
Yeah.
Cam and Kira have a convo. And you know, she asked like, why did she come here? And she's looking for a +1. Or no, he's looking for a +1. They're both looking for a +1. Like, they're both looking for meeting someone, and the mental connection is really important. And she just says flat out, she's happy with Will, but she's not going to close the door. And I think that she will close the door, and she's happy with Will. Like, I don't think she's open to anybody really investigating.
Yeah.
There's no Will factor. Who said that?
Somebody, I think, was just asking. They were wondering if she would be open, if the fact that I think it was Cam saying there was no Will there to stop her from talking. And what people are not understanding is Will has never stopped Kara from talking to anybody. It's the other way around. So yeah, I mean, anybody going after Kara, it's a brick wall. She's in it to win. She's in it to win
For the relationship.
She's in the relationship deep. And they didn't even have sex.
That we know of. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us again. We're almost done with this episode. So Kira returns to the girls, and you know, she can see potential with Cam, but she misses Will. But she's starting to get worried, because if the guys are so great, then the girls might be, you know, equally as great. And so she's getting a little bit insecure here. So Flo is talking to Will. So obviously we're about to see a Flo and Will conversation right after she started to get insecure. Flo's mom is from Nicaragua, that we learn, and she wants him to teach me how to meditate, teach me how to speak Spanish. And this is like 101 on how to get a guy to like you or be interested in you, is get them to teach you to do something. Get them to do something for you. Men like feeling needed, and that they can, they want to fix your car. They want to fix the light bulb. They want to they like being able to do things that you can't do. And so getting someone to teach you something, I think it's a very smart way for her to get him to want to share something, teach something to her, and build their connection. So I'm like, smart.
That's my issue with him and Kira and Trina and Cinco. I don't feel like they're doing those things to build connections, and that is why somebody's going to lose somebody, because they weren't doing those things. And
like they weren't deepening their relationship. So like
right.
This woman that's going to look like, oh my God, like we do so many things together. We've known each other for a day. It's going to be standing out as like a shiny little toy, because it's going to be like, oh my God, if we're doing this in the first day, what are we going to do a week in?
Yeah.
Like even, I don't know if you've been watching all of Amy's IGs, but like her and Wes are just like traveling, and like he's buying her flowers. Like
Hawaii. I think they're still in Hawaii. I saw some of it on Twitter, but I'm not. I didn't follow Amy's page. I just following Giovanni. So he's back in Miami, and I think somebody said they're still in Hawaii. So it looks like they're living it up.
She's calling him my boy, my baby. Like she seems like she's in it. Like she's lying. Like I don't know, but like they seem like they've been together for a while. Like it doesn't seem like they just met like a week ago. So I like them together though, because they're so damn good looking, so darn good looking. And so Will does say though he's going to follow his heart 100%. Right now he's not interested in having his head being turned, but from the preview he looks like he just may. So I know what I want, and I go out and I get it, is what Cash is saying to Charlie. And so Charlie asks her if like she wants to have kids, and she ends up having, a pretty deep conversation with him, being like, I was told that I may not have an easy time having children, and I've never really had this conversation with a man before, especially a man I just met, but I want to be honest where I am. And he really handled it pretty well, saying that like, well, if we need to get a surrogate or whatnot, like I'm here on your support in your journey, like this, I don't think any differently of you. So I thought he responded quite well to this new information.
He had the absolute perfect answer. He didn't dismiss her, and because some men would be like, "Oh, that's all right," like as if it's fine, but it's really not fine. But he's like, it's just a conversation. But like, listen, if we have to get a surrogate, we get a surrogate. I think it was a great conversation. Definitely, relationship building.
Are you sure? It's like when people say conversate. Conversate is actually not a word. But the people, like rappers, have been using it to make it rhyme. But conversate isn't a word. But I stopped going on the conversate police. Because it's converse, right? Not conversate.
But I also want to point out. I want to point out, because some people on Twitter were saying that, oh my God, Cash is sterile, and wasn't she talking about kids to Cinco, about their future kids? And I was like, she didn't say she was sterile, people. That's not what that means. It just means
she might have a problem. It might be difficult. So it's probably that she maybe only has one ovary, or she has like low producing egg count. Like it could be that's the issue.
Yeah,
she's
or
still
she
young.
PCOS, which I know somebody who had PCOS, and she was told she would have an issue getting pregnant. They probably have to do IVF, and 10 years after they got married, they got pregnant and kept getting pregnant every couple years after that. So you never know what God has in store.
Hi, CJ. Hi, guys. Do you think that Casey has a chance with any of the guys? I'm worried. No, I don't think so. She's
None
not
of
going back to
them
the
like
villa.
black women except for Cinco, and he's not
He has hands full.
He has his handful of black women. He don't need another one.
Now a purple-haired one. Okay, so
I mean, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Like I wish there was. I think if Giovanni was there, he would have paid attention to her.
I don't know if I liked her vibe though. Like,
Yeah,
she does have the conversation with Cinco,
yeah.
and like, you know, she's like, I want a chance, I want a fair shot, and it's kind of like, but no, I don't know if you, why do you get a fair shot? I'm not really interested in you. I was just,
Yeah.
I didn't think that how she approached Cinco was good. I think you mentioned that already as well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, Giovanni has a way of bringing different personalities out of people, so that's why I said that.
So again, Cinco mentions that he wishes he'd sorted his stuff out before with all these women because it's getting a lot more complicated. Yep. You think so, Cinco? Josh and Flo have a conversation. Flo's an Aquarius. Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
You know I love my girls, my Aquarius girls. Gang, gang. Mm-hmm. She likes Josh, but Josh, I believe, is a Pisces, and Pisces and Aquarius. I know she was saying like, oh, like you get me. They don't really get along that well.
Yes, you already let us know last season. That,
oh yeah, so Justine and Caleb
was never gonna work. He's also short. I don't.
And she looks really tall.
And she's really tall, so I don't think it's a match. But yeah.
Cash and Raul, we briefly talked about this conversation before. He's like, oh, you dance? And you dance? You dance? What? And he's like, I'm Spanish. So this is, okay, so Raul wasn't really doing anything. Like, just like, you know, bachata is not that intricate of a dance. It's just kind of like side step with a little kick, and like turn, side step, kick. And so she was doing it, but I think that he probably also knows how to just like move on the dance floor, and so he might not be as maybe technical and clean as Cash is, but he will get out there. He probably knows how to do some of like the turns and stuff like that, but he's not like let's do the bachata exactly right. You know what I mean? It's just like how he dances to the music would be a certain way. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if he really thought she was gonna call him on it though. I like, okay, you say you know how to dance bachata, now show me. And I don't think he was ready for that. Yeah.
Good. And then we talked about it before already, but like they hug at the end of their conversation. She calls him out on his weak hug, and he's like, that wasn't smooth. I thought it was smooth. I thought that was a cute little banter, but it did seem a little bit friend zoney to me. Just saying.
She was like, no. She's like, I need a deep hug. Like, and I think it also, like you said, I think it was friend zoney. And you could kind of tell in who she decided she wanted to kiss, because if you see her intro package, she's like, I need a man who can dance, and like above all else, and she still ended up choosing Charlie to kiss.
So Earth Angel says, if a man asks you about children, he's seeing a potential future. Yes, and also getting on that same page. Did he say that if he wanted children or not? In that conversation, because I do know that it could be a deal breaker for some people if they do want children or don't want children. And so kind of just like to nip it in the bud in the beginning. If you're not interested in having any children, like
I think that's why he asked her. I think that's why he asked her, because they were talking about personalities, and he's like, that's why I like. So a lot of people are mad about him saying that he loves her personality, but I think that's also what led to that part of the conversation, because I think he wants to make sure that you have this like outgoing party vibe, you love to play, but do you also want to settle down and have children? So I think that's kind of what led to the conversation. And I think she's like, well, I think she's like, why you want children? I think he said, yeah. And then she was like, well, I've never told anybody this, but I was told blah, 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 blah.
Brandy thinks Raul should go for Olivia, while Earth Angel thinks that Raul and Trina could be a good match. I don't know if I see Raul with anybody at this point.
I don't see him with any of those. I don't know.
Not Trina, not Shannon, not Olivia. Maybe Cash, maybe Trina. But I have to see them a little bit more. But I don't see him really with anybody.
We'll see after the exclusive episode tonight. And because I'm going to try to watch it live for once tonight instead of watching, since it's Men Tell All tonight.
Oh, shoot.
I really do not care. So
I mean, I want to see my little Thomas's face again.
Yeah, I'm recording it, but I'm not going to watch it live.
Yeah, I'm going to go live after the episode, though. So
Yeah,
want to pop in.
I was going to say, and then I'm gonna chat with you guys when I'm done. But yeah, so I'm going to try to watch their Monday exclusive live tonight. I want to see more of both of them and their personality with like other people, and then with Cash, and then I can decide who I'm more in favor of right now. They're all on par with me.
Yeah,
I'm not like, oh my god, she has to couple up with. No.
Us too. We hope so too. Like, I really want to get to know these people a little bit better. I don't want to see Kira crying yet. Like, not down with that. Cash and Trina, like big wide shoulders.
Which is Charlie. That's what I was saying. He's more her physical type.
Yeah, I can see that. Just so lastly, just to get through this, so Corey hears that girls are attracted to men with wedding rings or marriage rings on. And I didn't understand what he said at first. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about, because then he got a text. But it is men do become more attractive knowing that they're unattainable. And that's why the marriage ring is kind of a thing. It's like, ooh, like he's not available. Let's see if I can get him to like me. And so it just becomes a little more attractive. So that's where I think that whole myth comes about. So I'm going to text, and it's going to be the Tower of Truth. So they're going to be playing some truth or dare kind of games as usual. And I wrote down, I'm like, I hate these super aggressive kisses. There's just all these like super like weird, like
I will say that Cash and Charlie kiss to me was hot, because I don't know. I think the upside down kiss is weird as hell, but I actually thought their kiss was hot. Now
I couldn't watch it all, but I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. Now there's some people that were on Facebook, the Love Island USA Facebook page, that were like, "Oh, how dare Cash do that kiss? She's a, you know what?" And I'm like, listen, you guys didn't say nothing when Shannon and Josh had sex. Why are you worried about Cash and a kiss?
Right? This point, it's Cash Island. Yes, it is Cash Island.
Yeah,
yes, it's always been Cash Island. It's true. Cash and her throuple carried the show. Mm-hmm.
That's like that's
it's all about her journey.
Throuple. Yep. Now she's in another throuple, but she's in the middle to make the decision. Yeah.
That Cash and Charlie kiss was fire. All right. Yeah. I mean, it was when I can't watch, it's too intimate, or it's just too. I'm like, that's too much.
No, that I could get. It felt intimate to me, so that's what I was saying. That kiss was. I was fanning myself.
I screamed when I saw it. I was like, ah! And it just kept on going. I'm like, guys, stop it. And so Josh kisses Flo. Shannon gives a lap dance to Gabe, which is another thing that I felt a little bit uncomfortable by, because it's like it was a little bit too good. Like, I thought it was a pretty good lap dance that she gave him. And I find it always awkward seeing guys' reaction in lap dances. It's just kind of like, I've been to hundreds of strip clubs. I used to like work beside one, and so we'd just go there for drinks after work all the time. And so I've been to many strip clubs, but still on these shows, I find it uncomfortable when people are getting lap dances. It's just like,
really? I've never been to a strip club. I've never been. So no, I've never been.
Oh, so when I was talking about taboo, you've never even heard of it, or never even been there?
Mm-mm. I've never been. So I mean, literally, my ex-husband and I had been together from the time we were 18, and then I had my daughter when I was 21, and I was in college in between, and so. I never had the like, oh my God, let me go to a strip club. And
okay, well, I mean, spoiler alert, like I was a bit of a party girl, and I lived in Montreal, and so like we literally worked right beside a strip club, so we just would always go to strip clubs. It's just Montreal, they're just like bars, pretty much. You go, they're everywhere. So, but I've been to hundreds.
Yeah. So now, what, female strip clubs or male strip clubs?
Both. In Montreal, on Wednesday nights, we used to go to Stock Bar. It was a gay night club in the village, but on Wednesdays was ladies' night, and so we'd go to that one. And like, I just have to tell you this one quick story. There's this one, he was super cute, this little like, he was kind of like a b-boy stripper in Montreal at Stock Bar. His name was Michel. And he would he would do like his like b-boy moves, whatever. And he'd pull down his, like, he was obviously wearing jogging pants. He'd pull down his sweatpants like underneath his butt, and so he'd start doing head spins, and so like his dick is out and his butt is out while he's doing these head spins.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't think I could go to a male strip club.
It's not hard, but it's so good.
I don't think I could do it. I could probably go to a female strip club. I don't think I could do it.
I've been to more female strip clubs than male because, like I said, it makes me uncomfortable when I see men dancing for women. It's really weird. Yeah. But yes, I've been to many times. Shannon can't dance. She can't dance, but she was like kind of like bouncing on him and stuff like that. That was just a little bit like a little bit much. Yeah, she's been over it for sure. Yeah. And so what else happened? So Kira has to kiss her 3 hottest islanders. You already mentioned she gives them kisses on the cheek, so it shows where she is at. And Cam, Raul, and Andrew, who she kisses on the cheek. Flo gives a Spider-Man kiss to Will, and Will seems to like it a little bit. And he's just kind of like, well, that's different. Like, different Flo. Uh-oh. And that's the end of the episode. It's going to be on Paramount Plus tonight, the exclusive episode number 3, where we're going to see Will having a kiss outside of a challenge with Flo.
Yeah. So this was the thing. People were comparing Kira to Sally last night. And what happened with Sally and the Casa Amor. And I was like, Sally at least played the daggone games. Sally kissed the guys. Sally played the games. Sally, she might have regretted not talking to the guys with the intention of bringing them back to the villa because she was stuck on Johnny. But she at least played the games. Kira, that was BS. You gotta go.
Kira's gotta go. Hi. So, okay, Trina should have never come on this show with all these insecurity issues. Oh God, go to therapy, not Love Island. I mean, they're probably coming out. She probably thought that she's dealt with them, and she's probably surprised that like they're coming out in this circumstances. So we'll give her the benefit of the doubt that she didn't think that these insecurities would pop up, because she's probably haven't had to deal with them in a while. That's my guess. Cache cuddling with Corey was cute. What was that?
I missed that part.
What's been before they left? Maybe like in the beginning of the episode.
What, on his birthday? Maybe then I must have missed that.
Maybe she might have jumped in his bed and been like, Corey. Yeah. Just cute stuff like that.
They're still coupled up, so it would have been her bed, but
that's true. Well, that's pretty much it. We did talk for a while, as usual. Yeah. Thanks, Tamika, for being able to be here all this time. I mean, I guess if I was with somebody else, you'd be in the chat room with us anyway, so you might as well be with us live, getting your live voice and opinions here, too. Definitely. So do you have anything else that we didn't talk about yet about this episode?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything I wanted to mention. I'm excited to see what right now. I feel like the boys are bringing it in to the right places that they need to in Casa Amor. I have to see. I just the boys and the girls on the other side, other than Flo, and she's really only interested in one guy.
Oh, thanks, Allie. Yes, please, everybody, run up them likes, please. They're really great for the algorithm. It gets some more eyeballs on this. And right now, like any super chats or anything contributing to the channel is going towards a new laptop because my laptop has been pissing me off today and I need a new one. So that's what my purchase will be if I ever can accrue that much money towards getting a new laptop. But other than that, Tamika, what do you have going on?
Nothing. As always. Wait, I think. Follow me at in Entertainment in Color. So just a reminder tonight, guys. LeVar Burton starts on Jeopardy tonight. I can't wait to watch.
I will watch that for sure.
And I don't know if anybody saw the news that Issa Rae, I think it was all over. Issa Rae got married to her longtime boyfriend, which I think is so exciting. So I love stuff like that.
Perfect. I know where to go to find all that information. Yes. Perfect. And you guys, please just do this. You know, we said to run up the likes. Please subscribe, leave a comment. We will comment on everything that you guys say, good or bad. Who do you like? Who do you not like? Who do you think is going to make it out of Casa Amor alive and intact as a couple? Who's going to make it outside of the villa as a couple? Please let us know all your thoughts here, because we love talking about this show, even though it's so trivial. We just enjoy it so darn much. So Thanks for joining us here today. We will be talking tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern about the exclusive episode number 3 on Paramount Plus tonight. So watch it if you can, and then join us again tomorrow, where we'll have another long conversation about the happenings and what Will's doing. Will's causing some trouble. Love it.
Well,
Love
see
to
what
see
happens. Bye.